Welcome to our discussion for Music 2, the sound and silence. But before that, let us know first, what is rhythm? Rhythm is the movement and the flow of music in time. It is the grouping of a long and short sounds. There is a rhythm in the way you walk, talk, or do other everyday activities. There is also rhythm in nature, in the rolling of the waves onto the shore, the falling raindrops, and the swaying of leaves as the wind blows. Rhythm is everywhere. So, what is the connection of rhythm in sounds and silence? Rhythm is the movement and flow of music in time. So it means there is a music. When there is a music, there is a sound and silence. Now, let's talk about sound. Sound is a tone you can hear. Sound is a tone you can hear. It means when you hear something, that is a sound. Just like now. When you hear something around you, that is a sound. Just like now, you can hear teachers talking. That is a sound. Example of sound. And you can use this symbol. Teacher, what symbol? This one. Look at this. This one. Okay. This symbol to represent a sound. Okay, here are some examples of sound. First one. Knocking on the door. When someone knocks on the door, can you hear it? Of course you can hear it. That's why knocking on the door is an example of sound, because when you knock on the door, you produce a sound, or you can produce a sound. That's why it is an example of sound. Next one. What is that? Oh my gosh, what is that? Teacher, is that an ice cream? Of course not. That is not an ice cream. That is a bell ringing. When the bell is ringing, you can hear a sound, right? That's why bell ringing is an example of a sound. Another one. When you do, or when during a recess time, okay? Snack time. You often take your snacks and talk with your friends, right? Of course, when you are talking with your friends, you produce a sound. Of course, you are talking. That's why there is a sound. Do you think your friend or classmates can understand you without a sound? Of course not. They can't they can't do that. They can't understand you. They won't understand you. Okay, you also play games with your classmates, right? When there is a recess time. When you are playing with your friends or classmates, you create sounds, of course. When you are playing, there's a lot of sound, right? Okay, that is an example of sound. Now, let's talk about the silence. Silence is the absence of sound. It means that we can't hear anything. If sound, we can hear something. In silence, we can't hear anything. That is a silence. But in music, silence is a stop, pause, or rest in music. It means that when you are listening in music and you notice that the music stop a little bit or the singer stop a little bit, pause a little bit, that is a silence. And you can use this symbol. Teacher, what symbol? Okay, this symbol, look at this one. This symbol. Okay, you can use that symbol to represent a silence. Okay, here are some examples of silence. First one, we have the sleeping baby. Wow, we have a very cute baby in there. Okay, when the baby is sleeping, can you hear something? Of course not. You can't hear something when the baby is sleeping. But when the baby woke up and started crying, can you hear something to that? Of course, you can hear the baby crying. When the baby is crying, you can hear a sound, right? That's why crying baby is an example of sound, while the sleeping baby is an example of silence. Very good. Another one is praying woman. When the woman is praying, or when you are praying, it is good that you are noisy? Of course not. We need to be silent. Or keep quiet. We have to keep quiet when we are praying, right? We don't need to talk when we are praying, or we don't need to shout or make a noise when we are praying. That's why praying women is an example of silence. Another one is when you do or when you study your lesson. When you do your lesson or you study your lesson, most of the time you just keep quiet and think about your schoolwork, right? Did you think about your schoolwork? Of course, I know you are thinking about it. When you are thinking and you keep quiet, of course there is no sounds to that, because you keep quiet and you are just thinking, not talking. Okay, there is a silence when you do not speak. So, let's try not to speak. Teacher is speaking, right? So, there is a sound. Let's try not to speak. Let's see if there is a silence. Okay, let's start. Okay. Is there a silence? Of course, there is a silence because a while ago teacher is not talking, but now teacher is talking, right? So there is a sound. Now, in music, silence is as important as sound. Of course. Why? Why do you think silence is important in music? It is important because in music, we also need silence. Imagine, you are the singer and you need to sing a song. You need to sing it from the start to the end without a pause or a stop. Do you think you can make it? I don't think so. Even if the rapper can't do that. Even the rapper can stop or pause a while, right? To take a breath. So, silence is very important in music. Do you understand? Okay. It is nice to listen to pleasant sounds of music, right? Of course, it is really nice to listen to a pleasant music because it helps you relax and put you in a good mood. Of course, when you are listening in nice music, you feel relaxed. You will feel relaxed and it will lift up your mood. When you are sad and you will listen to a happy song or lively song, you will feel happy, right? And that's why it can put in a good mood. But sometimes, you also need silence around you so that you can think and rest. Of course, you cannot think when there is no silence, right? When there is no silence, you can think and you can't rest. Can you rest with the noise around you? Can you sleep while your friends or your family is talking and making a noise? Of course not. You can't sleep without. That's why you can't take rest without a silence. A good balance of sounds and silence is important, not only in music, but also in your daily life. Okay? Do you understand? I hope you understand our lesson for today. And I hope you learned something today. Thank you for listening and watching. That's all for our discussion. Goodbye.